really that close. Rich, when you talk about quarterback Nick Foles with these Philadelphia Eagles, it is remarkable how far he has come. This is a quarterback that didn't actually have a preseason because of injury. So fast forward to week 15, and he takes over for Carson Wentz, 4-1 now as the starter. And that became his preseason, as all of his teammates explained to me. But the most important week for Nick Foles, the playoff bye week. I spoke with tight end Zach Ertz. That week was critical. Doug Peterson, the head coach, his management of that week was critical. Why? Because it wasn't a bye week. It was ones versus ones, extremely intense, Monday, Thursday, Friday. In fact, Malcolm Jenkins was lined up 2 straight days against the likes of Zach Ertz. That week, critical, Rich Eisen. As I throw it back to you guys, for more on Nick Foles, 78% completion rate here in the postseason for the quarterback against the Falcons and the Vikings to get to this moment.
Stacey, thanks very much. Appreciate it. So, regular season Nick Foles. Playoff Nick Foles. All right. So, wow. Essentially, just to use, I guess, guttural noises right there. Game day morning presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. This is hour 6. This is hour number 6.
That's it?
What does that mean, Willie?
We've got a lot more to go.
That's it.
A lot more to go.
We do. We got 2.5 hours.
I'm excited. I'm sorry, Rich.
You should.
I'm the new guy on the set.
Too.
I'm excited.
No, this is all good. But just, look, Willie, it's a marathon. It's a marathon right now. Okay?
We mean a marathon.
Not a sprint, Willie.
Which Nick Foles shows up is the topic bar here. But did we see a Nick Foles in the regular season that was just beginning to get sea legs under him? Was Doug Peterson not putting him all the way out there because, Nick Sudfeld might not have gotten them to this building, and he knew that? I mean, to what do we attribute, I guess, our topic bar, Steve? Which Nick Foles do we see today?
Well, with Doug Peterson, Frank Wright, John DeFilippo, they have evolved into the offense that we saw in the playoffs, and much better than the regular season, right? We've seen him play well in 2013. I don't think we can expect him to play as well as he did in the last game with 352 yards and 3 touchdowns and 141 passer rating. That is really unheard of. That was unbelievable. And he did that against the best defense in the league, Willie. He scored 38 points. But he's playing against a good defense this week, too. The Patriots are a heck of a defense. After that September run, which wasn't good, they have been as good as anybody. But Nick Foles is going to use that play-action pass. I think they're going to use those running backs. They'll take their shots when they can, but they're going to be careful with him because when he doesn't turn the ball over, they're a pretty darn good offense.
Yeah, I got to give Coach Peterson so much credit for how he's handled the situation of his backup quarterback. First, I know he has his players committee and all of those guys went and talked to him first and said, listen, Coach, we want to practice in pads, because the week they played the Dallas Cowboys, week 17, they just did walkthroughs. And Nick Foles, he only played a little bit. They were like, we need to make sure we get him ready. We need to be ready. We want full padded practices. They went ones against ones. And I think we're seeing the results of it. He started that first playoff game, and he was a little everywhere. But Coach Peterson brought it down, got him going, and I mean, he's just taking off. I'm expecting to see the championship game Nick Foles, the guy we saw last week. That's what he's going to have to do to match up with the greatest guy we've ever seen play quarterback before in Tom Brady.
Everything you just said makes me think that it may be a little bit opposite. Look, there's no owner's manual to this game of how you can control your emotions, how to react in certain situations, how to react when you get hit in the mouth or you go down by a few points. Nick Foles has never experienced this. He has no experience in this type of game or what he may encounter. So early, I expect him to struggle a little bit. I expect him to come out and probably have a turnover, probably play a little bit bad. It's going to take a while for him to get used to the way this game is going to be played. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot riding on this game for Nick Foles. His future is riding on this game. So I know he's been playing pretty good as of late, which he's more comfortable in this system, but he hasn't played in the game like this in his career.
But let's not make a mistake. Everybody feels pressure. I mean, Tom Brady on the other side feels the pressure as well. I mean, he's going for his 6th championship. I mean, everybody feels the pressure in this moment, and it's how you handle the pressure. And what I loved, and I've been in contact with Nick, and when I talked to him earlier in the week, is when you have a certain perspective on games like this, where everything is not tied into whether I win this game or not. And Nick Foles, we talked about.
But Kurt, it is. It kind of is for him.
No, I'm just saying that this isn't going to define him. Over the last 2 years, he's gone through some stuff. He's a man of faith, and he's found out that life is bigger than just what happens on a football field. And I believe that kind of stuff weighs heavy in these moments that you're not coming in going, oh my gosh, this is going to define me. I got when you go, hey man, I'm not supposed to be here. And I am here by the grace of God, and I'm going to go out there and just let things fly as they may. If he loses to Tom Brady,
he was supposed to anyway, right?
I mean, yeah.
Gotcha.
If he beats Tom Brady, I mean, who knows where that leads? But I believe his perspective is different than maybe it would have been 2 or 3 years ago, based on where he's been and how he got here.
He loses to Tom Brady and he throws about 4 pick sixes. It's going to define him. Oh, it will define him. That's all they will remember in Philly is when Nick Foles threw their 4 pick sixes.
But
so make sure that doesn't happen.
To your point, Kurt, Nick Foles has said he wants to become a pastor when his playing days are done. The question is, what about the future of his playing days? And let's turn to Ian Rappaport on that. Ian, you have the floor on the subject.
Rich, it has been quite a journey for Nick Foles from the discarded Rams star who actually considered very strongly quitting football. Andy Reid and his wife had to talk him back into it, to signing with the Chiefs, and all of a sudden now a Super Bowl starter. But from what I understand, his journey is not quite done yet. This offseason, after today, the Eagles are expected to get interest in teams trying to trade for Nick Foles. It's a quarterback league. There is a dearth of quarterbacks. When it's all said and done, some team, maybe several teams, are going to consider him a starter. Then the question is, will the Eagles consider trading him? And from what I am told, the Eagles love their quarterback situation. They are comfortable with their entire room, including Nate Sudfeld. Yes, they would consider it for the right price. And one thing we know, as I get ready to send it over to Steve right over there, is that the Eagles have put off some trades that have made our eyes pop over the last couple of years.